Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Social. It is Friday, March the 27th. And yeah, we're coming to you from our homes in this new era of physical distancing.
So speaking of physical distancing, let's start there. Are you confused by it at all? Because the Government of Canada coronavirus website says we can go outside, we can get fresh air, but just how much and how long? What are you experiencing?
I'm so confused because I've been trying to get, I think like most parents, I've been going a little squirrely inside the house. So I've been trying to get Jaya and myself out at least once a day, either in the backyard. But yesterday we decided to go out on a trail that's nearby our house. And there were a few people down there respecting physical distancing. And some guy came through on a bike and he started yelling at everyone saying, parks are closed. Everyone needs to be at home isolating. And I was kind of rattled by this. I came home and I told Jason about it. He's like, well, the guy's right. And then we had this debate about what is considered a park. I mean, there was no tape up and there was no signs up in this area. And so I think I know what a park is, but I'm Jason's part mole, so he doesn't feel the need to go out, but I need to go out. So I feel like this is the right way to do it, to go on a trail, something like that. But I don't know. Did I do something wrong? What do you guys think?
No, I mean, most people are as confused as you are, Cynthia. I live near the waterfront, and they specifically said in the announcement in Ontario that off-leash dog parks would be closed. And there are several off-leash areas on the waterfront. And so when we went there yesterday morning, they actually had police tape sealing off the dog run area. And then there were police cruisers cruising up and down the area, making sure that people understood and just stayed on the boardwalk. But then 7 hours later, when we took the dogs out for the afternoon walk, the police tape had been taken down and it was like a normal spring day. People were out there. They were observing physical distancing, but it didn't seem like there were any closures. So I don't know. I'm as confused as you are.
You know what, though? I think it's the hardest part is for the playground part anyway, is because playgrounds are closed and that's been our daily routine. Marquez and I will take her bike. We go down the sidewalk, which we know sidewalks are still good. And then we'll go through her park where her playgrounds are. And there's a bunch of playgrounds sort of all in the same area. And while there's no tape or anything, there are signs that say reminder about social distancing. This was prior to, of course, them being officially closed. And there's nobody there. There's nobody anywhere. And so that's the hard part for me, is to try to explain to her. She's like, well, nobody's here. So why can't we just get on the slide? Nobody's here. And so that for me is the part to explain to her, well, I mean, technically and legally, nobody is supposed to be out here on these things. And yet we're practicing social distancing because we're the only ones there. That's the really hard part for me.
Yesterday, the park that's right across the street from my house, I looked out and I saw kids playing still. Not everybody was practicing social distancing. And then this morning, the police tape, the yellow tape, was actually up. So maybe it's taking time to roll all of this out. I'm not sure. But as far as having to get out of the house, I absolutely need to get out of the house. We get stir crazy. And so I'm doing that dance. I'm walking down the sidewalk and I'm crossing the street if need be. My kids are crossing the street. Everybody's dancing, but nature is not canceled. So, yeah, I think we need to get out.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to go play basketball, because every time I leave that, basketball by myself is what I mean. There's a school play yard around the corner from me, and I don't know if that's off limits, if I would get publicly shamed if anyone saw me shooting hoops by myself.
I have an answer, Jess.
Please tell me.
Only because I'm a parent, and so I get the emails from the school boards. And so the school boards have said through to parents, but I don't know, you wouldn't be on that emailing list, that all of their playgrounds on their properties are all closed as well. Now, how that would get to you, I don't know. I got that as a parent, but again, part of this confusion is, how do you get that message out to everybody? So yes, according to them, you're in contravention of the rules right now, Jess, but you could also claim, how would you ever know that?
You know what
Case
I've been doing though?
Okay, so
I've been doing these quarantine. I've been doing these quarantine compliant walks. So there are a lot of friends that I have who are in the neighborhood-ish, and so what we've been doing is I've been going over to their place, but standing on the sidewalk, and then they've been talking to me from their window.
No way.
We've been visiting that way. I did 3 quarantine compliant visits last weekend. And lately in my neighborhood, I've been seeing people do the same. So somebody sits on their porch and then their friend or relative or whatever either rolls down the window in their car and talks to them that way, or stands on the sidewalk. Cynthia, you and I don't live too far walking distance from each other, so I think I might come by for a quarantine compliant walk, and you can stand on your porch and I'll stand on the sidewalk.
That. Okay, I think that's amazing. Here's the thing now. I know no matter what, a lot of us are spending much more time inside and on our laptops. And the question, I ran across this article in the New York Times that's asking how you're feeling about online shopping for clothes and other non-essentials. Should we be doing that type of shopping, or are you doing that type of shopping, or is it not the right time for that? What's your feeling?
Grocery shopping online, guilty, because I am too scared to go into a grocery store. So I have been just doing online grocery shopping, and then I do the pickups where they actually just come, put it in the trunk of your car, and then you drive away. Like you can stay more than even the 2 meters apart. So the grocery shopping online is the only way I've been doing it. And listen, 90% of the businesses in this country are small or medium businesses. So if they do have an online option, this economy has screeched to a jolting halt. So I am definitely continuing to support small businesses. I have a small business. My online business is still up and running. So I think if you know that someone is operating safely and keeping their employees, health and well-being at the top of the list, then I feel like it's actually incumbent on us, if you can, because of course, financially, it's a whole different story. But if you can, try to support where you can.
I'm so glad you're saying that, Mel, because it reminds me of the story that was going around last week about Dr. Dina Hinshaw, who is the chief medical officer for the province of Alberta. And she did a press conference, and she was wearing this dress with the periodic table on it.
Cool.
And people really love this dress. And so what happened was they hunted down the dress. The dress was made by a label founded by a woman in British Columbia who was about to lay off her 18 employees. And because orders for the dress surged because of Dr. Dina Hinshaw, she may be able to keep her business afloat. And it's important to remember, of course, right now we have to stay safe, but there is a world and a life beyond COVID-19. And small business in particular has been so useful for women and women of color to try and balance out the scales of inequality. Small business is the way that women are getting ahead in business. So in the post-COVID-19 world, if we let these people struggle, or if these people have to start from zero, it actually makes a difference to our communities and our social fabric when we talk about social justice. So these are all the things that I'm thinking about right now. And I think that Dr. Hinshaw's example and the dress really illuminated that through fashion.
That is like a fantastic
I agree.
example. And I haven't even window shopped though, because I don't want to be tempted at all. But when I saw that dress for the first time, Lainey, I immediately think, oh my goodness, I want to investigate it and maybe buy it. But you know what? I don't think I can, because A, it won't go with my jogging pants that I'm wearing entirely. B, I might need that money. I'm just so anxious about finances. The idea that money that I spend now, I might need it in a month from now for rent, for groceries. I'm a little anxious about that. I'll be honest.
I feel like yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Mars, go.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, I feel the same. I feel the same way. I've got an 80-year-old mother who is living by herself in a condo, and she most definitely can't go to a grocery store. So and she's not online. So ordering groceries for her is a thing. And also because I'm homeschooling Dash right now, I ordered a bunch of books that were able to get here sooner rather than later so that we could start. So spelling, science, math, reading materials, all of it came to my doorstep.
Yeah, I agree. I hear you. I've been thinking about stuff like that too, but I feel like I'm with Jess on this one in that I can't, even though there's a small pleasure that I get from looking at nice clothes and whatever. Right now, I fear not just for myself, but for friends and families who might come into dire situations where they need money desperately. And I want to be in a position that if I need to, that I can help them. So I'm just trying to balance out supporting a few small businesses here and there, but really looking down at essentials because I want to be in a position to help if that comes up and I need to.
You know what, though,
Cynthia, thank you, because Jaya's clothes are coming your way from my clothing company.
Hey, but you know what?
So
even though probably none of us are in a position to go shopping for new clothes, we are living in a certain kind of clothing as we're all in isolation, which is probably casuals. But did you see that tweet from a teacher in the UK? She was like, hey, while we're all at home self-isolating, students should still wear their uniforms to keep them in the habit of their attire when they're learning. So what do you guys think about still getting in your work clothes when we're all at home, physical distancing?
Okay, I know that there's this particular angle about kids in school uniforms, and I mean, I love education and I love when kids are getting some kind of education, whatever that is, in these long days at home. But to actually go to the extent of a uniform, I'm like, even for this girl who loves education, it's a little excessive, if you ask me. And having said that, we do have rules in our house during this, shutdown so far, which is it's no PJs during the day, because there is such a lack of structure and ritual that there are a few things we can hold on to in my family, which is get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, get into some day clothes. And then, of course, we'll be sitting down at some point doing some kind of schoolwork. But the idea of sort of mentally and physically getting out of sleep mode into a little bit more of play /work/education mode, that makes sense. But even for me, this person needs to just take their foot off the gas pedal just for a second.
Can you imagine if we wore our show uniforms while broadcasting from home? Honestly, we'd be in dresses and heels and full makeup and everything else. A full disclosure, okay, in these days of broadcasting this way and in, virtual meetings and all of these things, I am making sure that I'm taken care of on the top, but I may or may not be wearing sweatpants on the bottom. And I may or may not be wearing pants, period. I'm just putting that out there. Because as long
That's
as...
so Ron Burgundy!
Okay. Yeah.
I'm with you, Martha. I haven't worn a bra in almost 2 weeks, including today. And right now, it's kind of like business-ish on the top. And is this a party pant on the bottom? Maybe? I'm not being militant about this stuff. Not for me and not for my son either. Yes, Lainey.
It's Friday today, and a lot of people online have started calling it Formal Friday. So because we can't meet, there have been all these digital devices where people are getting together. We've gotten together on Zoom, and then on House Party, people are getting together. And so Formal Fridays are where you party virtually with your friends, but everybody agrees to get dressed up and do their makeup and party online. I've been invited to 2 Formal Friday parties tonight. Matthew Collins is doing one of them. I don't think I'm going to show up to that party because I don't want to get dressed up and get my makeup done, but it's a way that a lot of people are kind of maybe going back into their closet and saying, I miss wearing that outfit, or I miss wearing or putting my eyelashes on in Melissa's case. So
okay, well, let me jump in
Friday
because
today.
there might be something for everybody who's watching us, not just us, but everybody who's watching us to maybe want to get dressed up for, and that is this Sunday. This is going to be a must-watch event for you and the entire family. So none other than Sir Elton John has decided for himself and some of his famous musician friends to put together a benefit concert. It's going to be on Much this Sunday, and the name of it is called the iHeartRadio Benefit Concert. So I said Elton John, Sir Elton John. He's also invited some other friends to perform music live from their homes. Other names like Mariah Carey, Alicia Keys, Backstreet Boys, Billie Eilish. There is a list that is growing every day. So between now and Sunday, you can bet that Elton is going to add on a bunch of other famous artists performing live from their homes for this benefit concert. So it is all to stop the spread of coronavirus by supporting groups who are doing that very important frontline work. So that is Sunday, 9 p.m. It is going to be Eastern on Much. So make sure that you tune in. Ladies, that brings us to the end of yet another social distancing edition of The Social. This was a lot of fun again. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time.